Are you in a situation where you have no time to meditate? In this video, I'm going to show you 3 things that you can do when you don't have time for a meditation practice. Hello, my name is Jason. I'm a Zen teacher and have been practicing Zen meditation for over 27 years. Now, there are many reasons why people aren't able to have a meditation practice. Many people just don't see the point of meditation. They don't see the benefits, and that's fine. Some people have had a meditation practice, but lost the motivation to do it. Now, I have videos about that. I'll put a link to a video down below to help with motivation. Recently, I was leading a 3-day meditation retreat. And after the retreat, I was talking to someone who thought it was a luxury to sit a retreat. I never really thought about that. You know, I was a monk for several years, and I've always had a situation where I was able to sit a 3-day retreat or a 1-week retreat. And I realized that, wow, it's kind of a privilege to be able to take the time out of this life and go sit for 3 days or 1 week. And some people are in a situation where financially they can't afford to do a retreat. Now, many of the Zen centers in the school I teach in have an opportunity to work something out where you don't have to pay, or you can just pay what you can to sit a retreat. But when I was talking to this person, and I didn't even think about this, is time. So when they said they didn't have the luxury to sit a retreat, what he meant was he didn't have the time to sit a retreat. This person has 3 jobs and also takes care of his family. So the retreats are out of the question. And they were asking me even to have the luxury to have a sitting practice, a daily sitting practice, seemed like it was not possible. Sometimes there's this idea that you have to spend many hours in order to have a daily meditation practice, and that's just simply not true. What's more important than the amount of time you sit is the consistency. And I've said this many times. I think it's better or more beneficial to sit 20 minutes a day rather than 3 hours twice a week. Having that consistency is a reminder to continue the meditation practice. Meditation is not just sitting. Meditation means this moment. What is happening right now? How do I respond to what's happening right now? I want to share with you 3 things that you can do if you're struggling to find that time to have a daily meditation practice. Now, I do think having a daily practice is important. I'll put a link down below to a video of why I think that's important. But I understand that sometimes life appears, or we get into situations where we don't have the time, or maybe we're traveling. I know the last couple weeks I've had very low energy and have been very busy, so very little time to practice. So these are the things that I did that can help you. The first thing that you can try, which is not one of the 3 things that I'm going to suggest, is to see if you can sit in the morning. Now, I already mentioned it's not the amount of time that you sit, it's the consistency. Even 20 minutes a day can be beneficial. So if you get up at 7 a.m., set your alarm clock for 6:30. Give you a little time to wake up and then sit. If you do other practices in addition to sitting meditation, Zen Master Hey Moon recommends a 15-minute practice. It begins with the 4 great vows, which sets up our intention for our practice and our lives. That takes about 30 seconds. 1 minute of prostrations. This helps with bringing the body and mind together. Chanting the Heart Sutra, which takes about 5 minutes. 10 minutes of sitting meditation, and ending with a reading from any book that inspires your practice. If you are not able to sit in the morning, one practice that you can do is walking meditation. Many people have told me that this is the practice they do when they don't have time to sit. One person recently told me when they are at work, they have a 15-minute break in the morning, a 30-minute lunch break, and then a 15-minute break later in the day. They take advantage of the very first break, 15 minutes of just walking. During the walking meditation, you can keep the same practice as you do during your sitting meditation. And what I mean by that is if you do mantra, or maybe you count your breath, or maybe you just keep an awareness. Try that technique during walking. Also, pay attention to what you are seeing in front of you, what you are hearing, what you are smelling, and what you are feeling. If you have a mala, you can use that to help keep your attention or count your mantras if that is your practice. Walking meditation is a very powerful practice that you can do anywhere, especially if it's difficult to find the time to sit. Another meditation you can practice is driving meditation. Now, I know I've talked about driving meditation in some of my other videos, but many people told me that this is their primary practice. And what they do is they use the practice that they do during sitting while they are driving. Others have told me that they play chanting through their car speakers and chant along with it. I've tried this myself, and it's a very wonderful practice, especially if you have to drive to work or if you're driving to school. You can take advantage of that time and do this type of practice. Whatever technique you are using during driving meditation, again, pay attention to what you are seeing, what you are hearing. Pay attention to all those thoughts and feelings that may arise while driving. I know in my experience, this meditation practice has not only been beneficial for myself, but for everybody on the road. Okay, so maybe you're not able to sit in the morning. Maybe it's not possible to do walking meditation during the day. And maybe doing meditation while driving just doesn't work for you. So one thing that everybody can do at any time is to breathe. Breathing is probably one of the most important aspects in meditation practice. A lot of people have energy trapped in their heads. So sometimes we say energy's up. So if you have a lot of thinking, worrying, things like this, it means a lot of energy is trapped here. Other people may have a lot of energy in this area. So if you have very strong emotions or anxiety, maybe some energy is trapped here. But just doing a very simple breath, and it's a natural breath. If you watch little kids, they breathe like this. When we breathe correctly, this energy comes down. So usually we breathe in through the nose, and we feel this lower belly expand. So about 2 fingers below your navel, you can feel this belly expand when you breathe in. When you breathe out, which is about twice as long as the in-breath, you feel this lower belly contract. So naturally, just doing this simple breath can help bring down your energy, and your energy becomes balanced. This is how we teach breathing when we teach sitting meditation. But again, you can do this anytime. One thing you can try is when you first wake up, do this simple breathing. You can do this breathing when you're at work. You can do this breathing when you're watching TV. You can do this breathing when you're going to bed at night. I know someone who sets an hourly chime on their phone, and every hour this chime goes off, bing, and they remember to take a deep breath. But I would say at any point of the day, try this breathing. I definitely recommend this breathing when your energy is up. I just had this experience this morning. So Empty Gate Zen Center has been having some issues with the bank. It's been going on for a long time, and I've been the one taking care of it. And let's just say it's not very clear what's happening. So when I was talking to the banker this morning on the phone, I really felt this energy up. In fact, I said some things that I probably shouldn't have said. But I noticed that energy, and I just took a pause, took a very deep breath in, lower belly expands, out breath twice as long, this belly falls. Immediately, this energy, this anger that I was perceiving just became clear. It became balanced. In fact, I have an appointment with this banker in about 9 minutes. So now I can go in with the clear mind. Energy's balanced. I'll let you know how it goes. But it's something you can do at any time, especially if you notice some energy appearing in your head or maybe over here. So if you have a lot of thinking or there's some strong emotions appearing, just take a pause and do this deep breathing. So when you are doing this breathing technique, also bring your attention to this moment. So take a deep breath in. Let that lower belly expand. Breathe out twice as long. Let this lower belly fall. And bring your attention to what you see right now. Bring your attention to what you hear in this moment. Bring your attention to your thoughts and feelings. And we're not holding this attention. So we're not holding on to anything. We're not pushing anything away. We're just letting this moment be. And when we can do this, our mind becomes clear, our energy becomes balanced, and this really is the whole purpose of meditation practice, including this formal sitting meditation practice we do. So I recommend that you try that. Take some time in your day to do that. And not only will you notice a difference for yourself, but those around you will also notice a big difference. So those are 3 things that you can do if you're not able to sit meditation. But there is one thing to be careful of, and that is this mindset. Oh, I don't have to sit meditation. My whole life is meditation. Sometimes there's a lazy demon that appears in our mind. The other side of that, though, is I have to sit 3 hours a day and sit 3-month retreats in order to meditate. And that's just another delusion. So there's no reason to bullshit ourselves. Just be honest. Look at your situation sincerely. Respond to the truth of what is appearing. Then everything is clear. I hope this video was helpful. You can let me know by liking this video or putting a comment down below. I would also be interested in hearing what practices you do when you're not able to sit. Let me know down in the comments. Okay, everyone, I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you very soon.